Testing, 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 testing. Okay, we're good. Testing. What's up, everybody? Um, Twitch, YouTube. We're gonna do this mobile home park model. Try and finish it today. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. And this is gonna be a long one today. So the last couple weeks, been working on this mobile home park upgrade. It is I don't know what was I doing here. It's really cool. So it's gonna allow for up to 40 mobile home park build-outs over time. You can see the cost, the operating activities, and the exit assumptions for every single one. Um, there's also a debt and refi logic for every single one, with loan terms that are going to be defined in aggregate. Um, it's just really a cool model. I've came across one other client that wanted something like this, and I just didn't have the time and the effort to tackle it. It was like a couple years ago, but now I do. So this is it. Um, so last week I got all the logic in for looks like operations. What did I do here? Oh, I remember. For operations, rent, revenue, vacancy, actual rent, gross rent, income. Um, just get my bearings on here. So units, rent. We had to do it so you can actually grow at X% per year, and then after a couple years you can have 1% change, like a normalized rate of growth. So that presented a lot of challenges, but we figured it out. So then we got potential rent is that times that. Right. So that was the active units versus total. Okay, that makes sense. So we didn't do, so we got debt, revenue. I didn't do ancillary income, I don't think. Let's see, stabilized rent. No. So you can just assume with this average rent here, weighted average lot rent for the park, it's going to assume any ancillary income in there per lot. All right. So, man, it's been a morning to tell you. Um, so now, what I have to figure out is, well, we got to scale this, what I just did 39 more times, and then we're done. So, stand by. Just trying to eat some food here this morning so I can move around. Okay. Um. Oh, wait a second. We never finished. What is this? So, life alone. I wish I would have remembered what I was doing here. Man, it is hard coming back after 6 days and trying to figure out what in the world I was doing here. I think this is the refi loan, um, which means let's see what was this formula? If so, the 48. I thought we did the refi already. Guess not. So if the life of the first loan, which can have interest only, by the way, that was some cool logic. But if the life of the first loan is equal to, so let's see, on the 48th month, let's think here. What happens in the 40th month of this loan? It's paid back. Okay, so that is the actual month that the refi is taken out. So if this life equals 48, then the starting balance is, oh, I know why. I see. I need to get to net operating income before I can do this. Okay, perfect. That makes sense now. So we have revenue. Now let's just go here. And what we're going to have to do is basically every park is going to have its own section for revenue for for net operating income because it has to in order to separate out all of these debt and refi situations instead of doing it all in aggregate. So, what we put here, this is mobile home park number 1 and revenue. Yeah, this will be a long stream today. It's gonna take a while. Okay, never mind. We can't do that. Okay, so that's fine. Number 1, we have operating expenses, which are going to be these right here. We've already accounted for all these revenue assumptions. So that I guess I'll drag this down. Be all of these U V W X Y oh, C A B. I won't have to do this again because I can just copy from the top for the second one and so on. A D E F G many extra fields did we have? F, G, H, I. That's it. So up to AK. All right. Now for Opex, it's not too complex here. Just so that's Opex, and we need to put this is this because we're going to reference mobile home park 1 total operating expenditure, and then it'll have its debt below that, but we just need to get to EBITDA or net operating income, and then we can do the next loan, and then we'll have to do repeat 39 times. Hopefully I can just copy and paste and adjust a reference and it'll be fairly quick. All right, so we need to know months in operation. This is going to be important. Or, hold on, what did I put here? Oh, month. So we assume this is January, I guess. Yeah. January start. Revenue starts the same month. Let's say this is 3. Just so we can see. So 3 months of downtime until you actually begin on this one. So and this will be a bit easier on the growth because it's just a fixed rate per year. This is annual. Yeah, that'll be easy. Okay. We want to probably do an index, and we want to match the expenses in starting in 4, and that's going to be a lock. We want to match each expense with the name of it. So index that, match. Do we care about the row number? No. Well, I mean, we could do a full row and column thing. I guess that's probably better in the long run anyway. So we'll just do an index and a match. So we just are literally going to pull this entire matrix. And definitely lock that. So now we go row. So we want the row to match the park name. So we match the matcher, which is going to be this, with this exact match. And the column will match with this name. And that'll have to match the top. So essentially, we've now made a grid, and it will get the park name and the relevant expense, match those two, and come up with the right dollar value. Now these should be, I'm trying to think, we could put, so this is annualized, um, so we'll just divide that by 12. And we actually only want to pull this if this is greater than 0. Let's put these are annual. I'll just write this out here. Operating expenses. And gotta lock all this up. C26 is gotta be locked sideways. This is locked every which way. This is also locked sideways, and this is locked both. Yep. So now I don't, whoever is using this, you don't have to worry about the position if for whatever reason you break a reference here and write something in. As long as something, whatever is here matches something on the top part here, it'll pull the right value. So that's fine. We only want to get if this is greater than 0, and then do this. Otherwise, don't. All right, what did I do wrong? Something's wrong. Oh, I see. Gotta lock the up and down on that mobile home park reference. So C26. I think that's the first one. Yeah, that's gotta be locked. Okay. So we got our totals. Now this is annual, so we're doing a monthly here. We got to divide this by 12. And so we have that going over, but it's not going to be the same expense every single year. It's going to rise. Therefore, we have to do this formula. So once we get this value, it's got to be times 1 plus the growth rate, which I guess we'll do an index for that. Do we do yeah, we did a different growth rate for each one. So index, yes, we want the row match with this. Yeah, I know it's not. I know. Okay, so index, that's got a lock. 4 to 43. B4. Yep. So this is times 1 plus this, and then this actually needs to be raised to well, year one is fine, so raised to this. I think I can't remember if a number raised to a 0 is always itself, or if it's raised to 1. We'll see in a second here. I think this actually has to be this minus 1. We'll see. All right, what's wrong with the formula? If E10 is greater than 0, do this whole thing. Divided by 12 times 1 plus our index match raised to E10. And why do we got 2 zeros here? Oh shoot, what did I just do? If this is greater than 0, then do this whole thing. Otherwise 0. Does that work? Okay, okay, it is working, and it looks like we do need to do the year minus 1 to actually get the proper amount. And I'm assuming we did that here. Let's see, where's our power in this one? Yep. See, in this one we did 1 plus the rate raised to H10 minus 1. Perfect. Oh, wait. Now what? Hold on, what just happened? Why is it pulling 25,000? See, this is the complexities of trying to make everything dynamic, but it definitely has to be done. All right, what happened? Index. That looks fine. 1 plus. Why are we getting 25,000 for all these? This definitely is not correct. Oh, for the top two. All right, what number are we even pulling here? 4,001. This divided times 12, 50,000. Is that the rate for property insurance? It's 25,000. So why is it doubling everything? 12 times. So it should be doing this whole operation first. Maybe we put another parenthesis here to separate these. Nope. Times 1 plus that raised to 0, essentially. You're raising to 0. There we go. I had an extra parenthesis in there somewhere. It was doubling. Okay. So that looks good. Just make sure. So this times 12. Just check a couple of these. So 153, 153, 40. Yeah, because these were the same. 40, 25. 48. Wait, whoa. Why is that? Should not be 40,800. It should be 40,000. Oh, why? And then 25.5. Okay, so after the first two, somehow it's screwing up. I don't know how. What did I miss? Maybe some reference. Dang it. I know there's only one operating expense title and one mobile home park description name. So it's getting the right thing, but why is it right on the first two and then it's all messed up? Repairs and maintenance is definitely not on here twice. It's not over here. Actually, probably should make these blue so you know you can edit the names of these expenses, whatever makes sense for your situation. 76.5. Yeah, we're off by, what is that? 76, 1,500. Okay, so for some reason right now it's increasing the amount by 2%, which it should be not because it should be raising it. It should be 2% raised to 0. So why is it doing that? Each 10 minus 1. It shouldn't be doing that 2% greater until we get over to T. Well, let's see what happens when we drag it over. You never just... Let's see. Oh my goodness. All right, so okay, so it's not even looking at this. It's not even doing it because it's staying the same. So our formula is messed up. It's just increasing the amount it finds by 2%, and it's not looking at the power for some reason, even though it's right there. Um, let's just for fun, let's take this out and just say this. Okay, 102%. So there's our problem. This should be 0. or 1. Should be 102. So, where are we going wrong here? 1 plus the rate raised to 0. Still doing it. Okay, so the 0, this doing that. Okay. What happens when we go over to 2? This should be a little bit more. Okay, this doesn't make sense. What am I missing? Let's say we raise it to 1. Or let's say we raise it to 4. This should be going up. Do I need extra parenthesis? Okay, now it's at 1. Let's just screw the power. So you have this. Now let's raise this to some number. Let's do to 5. Okay, so I'm sorry, man. This is how it goes. So and raised to 0 should be 1. Yep. Okay. So what happened is I think it was doing for some reason the index, raising it to a power and then adding 1 or something. I don't know. So we need to clear off what we have to do here. This needs to be cleared off before we go up. I think there was 3 there. No, maybe 2 extra ones. Let's try that. Nope. Now it's doing the other thing wrong. So 1 plus this needs to be its own thing. Okay. This just needs to be 2% or 1 plus 2% raised to this. That's what we need. We don't want to go too much over that way. Let's take out these parentheses altogether. All right, we know we need this one to wrap the index. We need 1 parenthesis here to block out so it doesn't just times by 1 and then plus. What now? What is it doing? What are we spilling? Oh my goodness, this is a disaster, man. 1 plus index AL4 43. Why are you spilling? So it has something to do with the formula. I know that. Let's put this into a parenthesis as well. Holy cow! I think we got it. Think we got it. There's our second 0. If false, 0. This looks good. Let's go to year 2, see if our expenses go up. No, my goodness, man. What in the world? Thought I had it. What's crazy is the top two seem to work, and then you get here and it's somehow adding 2%, but it's not doing it for these two. I just am thoroughly confused how that's even possible. The good thing is once this formula is figured out, we never have to, we could just paste it down and adjust the references. It'll be very easy. All right, let's take out this parenthesis. So we have a regular index and match. We have a value. So there's one value divided by 12. That's the match. That's the index. Okay, we got that value divided by 12. Okay, that's fine. Now, once we have that value, we want to multiply by 1 plus the other index formula. Okay, yeah, this is not right. So how do we get stuck on the row number? Index this match here at 0. Yeah, what happened here? What in the world? So lookup array is that match type 0. We don't need a column. So we close it off. There we go. I don't understand why it wants, it's just ending everything at that point. I do these a million times. I don't understand why this is being so difficult. Match type 0. Done. See, this is, why is it jumping? Did we not, hold on. Look at this, we never closed out this top one, I bet. No, we did. See, this should be comma. Look at how this works. Comma, lookup array, match type 0, and then you end it. Okay, why is this not doing the same? Index, match the value to that range, lookup array, match type 0. Got it. Okay, that's the column. Oh, shoot. I see. We're matching a row here. So, hold on, what we have to do, 1 plus this. We want to skip to the column. Match type is still 0. There we go. Now let's figure out what the heck we did over here. And it's just completely ended the whole freaking thing. Why are you ending the whole formula here? Spilling. Oh my goodness, this is insanity. Let's try and start with a double bracket. Okay, here we go. This is when this happens, I gotta start back. So let's just get a good value. Okay, we know 12.5 is a good value. Okay, that formula is fine. Now let's add this to it. And we're spilling all over the place. What the heck? Let's add this with no formulas at all. Or no brackets. We'll do one bracket. The whole thing's going to be one bracket. Oh my goodness, man. Okay, let's take out another piece. So let's just do, this will be it. So let's just take this out. Just do a simple index and match. Take this out too. Are you kidding me? Index. So we don't need the row. No, we do need the row. That's what we need is the row. Okay. All right. So that's working. That's working. Now let's go times 1 plus that. Okay, that's working. Now let's raise it. Okay. Are we good? Oh my goodness, I think we got it finally. Oh. Okay, let's pray. If we go to year 2, does it go up? Yep. 12.5, 12.750. And then year 3 should go up again. Yep. Okay. We got it. Oh my goodness, thank the Lord. Let's go drag this all the way over. Looking good. All right, so we have, I'm just gonna group these so they can be collapsed if needed. Also gonna group these so if you need to, you can just hit the top thing in here and just see, okay, here's Mobile Home Park 1, gross revenue, Opex, and then we're gonna go and see, thank goodness that says 40,000. That's the right number. Then we're gonna go net operating income. Top and double bottom. Bold it, and simply, this will be an easy formula. Revenue minus expenses. All right. Oh, man. One thing here. So on the management fee, it's a percentage. I don't know why this is 100. Let's just say this is 3. So the management fee might be 0, but if it's a number, uh, it's going to be a percentage of the gross revenue. So for this one, we actually just do Um, so this is a different formula. Which is going to make this kind of annoying, but so we want, all we want here is the rate doesn't need to increase because it's already just a percentage. Doesn't need to be divided by 12. It's greater than 0. Oh, that's by 0. So this should say 3%, and then all we do is we times this by the revenue. And that'll be a currency value. Okay, perfect. Now it's going to be kind of annoying because all these other formulas are different. Or, I mean, all these other formulas I could just drag, but now I have to drag, make sure I don't mess up this one, and then drag the rest down. But it's okay. Alright, so that operating income, this is what we need. And I believe what we can do is any point in time you can take the monthly rent expenses, because the expenses are not changing by month, just by year. And then this is just growing based on the occupancy. It's not going to go down. Well, it could go down, but to get an exit value, we can simply take the net operating income. Okay, because it got the full occupancy, so this stops. We could take the monthly times it by 12 to get the annual net operating income, and then divide that by the exit cap rate to get the value. And the reason why we need this is because our refi is going to be based on an LTV. Well, you need to know what the value is in order to know what 80% of the value is. So we're going to say, and then the value for the refi can be different than the exit cap. We could say here, refi cap rate, some number, let's just say 6. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. Yeah, I thought this was an error. I had just caught this for the thing, so this is Control D30. Yeah, that's what I thought. So that can't change. So this needs to be locked. It's funny how you catch things. So see, there's a reference error, and then it just goes down from there. So let's fix that. There we go. So D30. All right, that should be all good. Let's just, if K is, so if there's that and there's no acquisition, then you do right. Otherwise, if there's no debt, then 0. Otherwise, you take the acquisition cost times D10, which is loan to value. Perfect. All right. So let's do valuation is simply going to be valuation for refi. Simply going to be this number divided by this one. Oh, actually, we got to times it by 12. Come over. And then that's going to be the basis for the refi loan. So now this is what we needed. So now we come back over here. We could do our balance equals if the mobile home park 1 life of the loan is 48, then we want to pull, let's see, this is always starting in 1, so it should always be the right position. So I think we can just literally pull this number, otherwise 0. So let's see how this flows. Come over here. So month 48, it's that. Wait a second. We got to multiply that by the LTV though. So that's the balance. Times the refi LTV. Now, if this is no, then no, we don't have to do any of this, which I'll put in that logic at the very end. So the bank's saying, well, it's worth 6 million based on the exit cap and the net operating income right now at the current moment. We'll give you 5 million. This 5 million is then used to pay back this 1.8 million, and then the remainder goes to available cash flow to distribute, and then you also just have a new loan with new interest, principal and interest. So we're gonna have to do the life of this loan, which is gonna be simply if oh shoot, um, when are we gonna start counting? I guess if whenever this equals this, it's gonna be month 1 of this loan. So we do simply check when it's 1, and then as soon as it gets to 1, so like in month 48 it's going to be 1. So then we do another formula where if otherwise, if this is greater than 0, then do this plus 1. And then, yep, we got an error because there's text there. That's fine. We just go if error for the first month is only going to be an error than 0. And now we should be able to count properly and dynamically. Yep. So you can see 48. Now we're starting this loan off because we now need to know the principal and interest for this. And then also, what's interesting, so starting balance, now what happens if, So we only want the starting balance. So if this is greater than 1, oh, what the heck did I just do? Yeah. If that's greater than 1, then we just simply take the ending balance of the previous month. If not, then do the other formula. So there's dynamic. It'll work for as we drag everything to the new parks. Drag this over. And why this has to be dynamic is because, so see, this starts in month 6 because, well, we're starting the first loan at the first day, January, but uh, we're doing interest only for 5 months. And that's a global assumption. So whenever we get a loan, we get interest only. So that's why you then see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months where you're just paying interest, accruing interest, and then the balance is not changing, and then it goes to P&I. Now you could hit 0 for that and just do no interest only, but so what's happening? So then when we go to the next one, if it doesn't start till month 7 and then interest only, so you can see all the months will be different. So we have to know all the different timings. So that's why this has to be dynamic. Sorry, I'm just gonna bite here. Okay. Um, we've got where we at? That's right. This is right. Now the interest. So this is standard. Um, it'll be the starting balance times uh, the rate divided by 12. Unlock this. I'm also thinking, did we bring any of this over here? I don't think we did. So let's move just, well, I guess we just do that. We can do, I just want to get the refi cap rate in here. Right, is that, yeah. In payments per year, we're assuming it's just 12 for everything. Okay, I think that's fine. Interest. So you can see here. Oh, dang it. It's gotta be locked. Lock B12. Drag her over. What did I miss? Oh man. Okay, I locked. This cannot be locked. So, okay, there's interest. Now we do the principal, which is going to be similar concept here. in the term. Now, I'm trying to think. So you might not know. Let's think about this. You might not know when the term or when the refi is going to happen. We're assuming it's in year 4. But what if the term is, I don't think the bank, they'll probably do a 10-year term. So, but if a refi is whatever the refi month or year is, based on what you define, then you just paid off then. So, I don't know if we should necessarily auto tie the refi, the term here. Like if this is a 10-year term, like then we never refi, right? No, it just keeps going. Well, goes to the 10th year. Oh, wait. Okay, good. So this, oh no, that is year 10. So I want it to be able to say a 10-year term, but what if we refi in a different year? And what we would do is say, we would say assume the refi happens at year, let's say we do 4, and then so that's month 48. So now, because the initial loan terms might not match up with when you want to refi. I think those need to be dynamic or separate. So here, what we have to say is, okay, if term is 10 years, but we want to say refi at this year. And now we don't care about the 120. We care about this. But we're going to need this too, because let's say you don't do a refi, well, then in 10 years you're going to have to pay back the loan. So, okay, so this is good for month 48. That's what we want. But if this is no, well, I guess if it's no, then we just choose the other month. So do principal paid. So do this if this equals yes, do that, which is fine. If it doesn't, then we want to do the same exact formula, but now do it sure the right one's moving here. Do that. Now, so if it's no, it should, oh crap. Let's drag this over. So now it should have went to 120, which it did. And now at 120, it's saying, okay, you got 1.57 left on the term. So you pay that back at this date. And here's your principal. But if there is a refi, then it stops there and it goes into here. And this is going to go if the refi equals yes, then do all of this stuff. Otherwise, there is no ever starting balance, so you go 0. So if we go no here, you see now there's nothing. And then this loan, the initial loan just keeps going as it, based on whatever terms it has. All right. Great. That looks good. Now the interest paid, we got that. Principal for the refi. Um, let's pull all this down. So the refi is going to be starting balance, life of this refinance loan down here. And then the refi is always going to be referencing its term, which is this. And then, however, if it's the, hold on, let's just drag all this down. So we got the rate is different than that. Amortization is this. Okay. Now here's the trick. So principal interest. The trick is now if the exit month is a number, then we have to clear out this loan, which, let's see, what do we do here? If B26 equals 11, so that's the end of it, doesn't really matter. If B26 is less than 1, then 0, otherwise payment. Okay, so we want to say if this month equals the exit month, then pay off the loan. Because you're going to have, you're exiting the whole thing. So pay off the starting balance. Otherwise, do the rest of the stuff. Lock D. And then let's get the rest of this stuff in here. So any balance is just same here. This thing minus that. Total debt service is that and that. So I think we're good just to drag all this over. Now, what happened? Why is this only going for 30? What happened here? What's equal to 30? Ah, I see. Okay, so principal for payment, we did rate is 12. Yep. The period that's right. The number of payments is B10 times D16. 10, so that should be 30 times 12. 16 payments per year. Well, it should be this number, but still D26. But it's saying if B15 equals Control D5, we've said 37, 2037, and what date is that? No, this is, so it's basically paying it off in month 30. It should be paying it off in month 360, which is never going to come. Let's see. Interest rate. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. I'm missing something here. I'm just trying to figure out what. I'm telling you, on these, the debt and the refi, all that stuff is always the most difficult logic to do by far. So it's only paid back 300,000. Why have we paid this back? So if CE equals that, which it doesn't, if CE 26 equals B11. Okay, so what's B11? There's where we messed up. So this should not be, that should not be equals B11. So this could be C11. And in C11, we'll just put the term. Which brings me to the question, what the heck did I do for the first one? Oh, I was C in there, so I don't know how that got messed up. Otherwise, if B17 equals C6, and here's doing C5, C5 is a refi, otherwise match to C6. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know what happened with this one. Well, wait, is it working now? Now I have no idea which cell I just changed. So let's undo. Oh, for goodness sakes. Come on. All right. Oh, did I do it the second? Are we kidding? All right. Let's move this over to here. Right? If B26 equals, I don't know what happened because I thought I only changed one of these cells and somehow this whole thing updated out to here. Um, Now 37 is the exit month, so that's why that's up there, which is fine. And let's just do a little check here. Station. I just want to see, so if we did alone, always good to sanity check these things. So if we did starting balance of this, well, basically this term here, with a 30-year, come on, bring this up. All right, 30-year term, 2.5 interest rate. Let's see. Now we want to make sure that matches. So 11,206 and 10. Yep, looks good. 1068. Oh, wait. Whoa, wait. 11,185. 11,165. 11. So the interest is right. The principal's not. Yeah, because. And we messed up the principal here too. Okay, so I know exactly what happened. On this, we need to make this negative. Let's see how we're going to do this. We need to know the initial balance. That needs to be, I guess, up here. Oh dear. Um, I guess it would the max initial balance is always the max of 19 is always going to be the initial because it should never be going up. So on this, so it's on this negative net present value. This has to be the max of this. Hopefully it doesn't cause a reference error. Please. Okay, I think that worked. Hold on. Okay, what's going on here? So it's still the same number, but the principal and interest should be the same every month. All right, let's just go to this one since this is the one I already have. So the interest is correct, right? We've got 11,206, 11,185, 11,165, 44. The payment. So what I should do is just do I should be doing this. I should be doing the payment function, and then the principal is just the difference of the two. That's the best way. Because for whatever reason, the principal payment's not matching up exactly, and it's probably something to do with the interest and the assumptions that Excel uses for the payment function. So that's fine. Um, just to be a little bit more complex, but so this is got to be this, but now we're instead of PMT, we're just going to do PMT. Um, and let's see what assumptions I got for PMT. So this is the rate. Yep, divided by 12. Number of payments. What? Okay, it's doing one payment. So now this has got to be this number here, C11. And I think that's it. So that's, hold on, does that make sense? We need to be at 21 million for the payment. So for payment, we just need the rate. What is this? The payment number. Oh, come on. So the rate, oh man, this is rough. Um, does that mean end period? All right, let's just do the period then. So it'd be payment number 1. And then the present value is, okay, so this is where we got messed up. We don't need to know this. We just need, oh, please help. What are we doing? What is going on here? Let me just double check this. 1216. Okay, so that's moving along with it, which is fine. So and if that equals this, it actually has to be this plus the interest for the period. But it's neither here nor there. So what's going on here? As for some reason, let's just try it over. Okay, payment. PMT. Is it not going to show me? Equals PMT rate 0.001. 0.025 divided by 12. Number of payments. No, payment number 1. Present value negative this. Now, what in the world am I doing different here? I'm completely confused. Because here, we're doing payment equals the rate. Payment number. And negative 11, which is the balance. So if we just copy that into here, and let's just do it for what's C11? All right, it's payment. Otherwise, do this payment amount. And so this number, H12 divided by B6, is the rate. Which is the same every time. The number of payment is payment number. It's not big whole count thing, it's this. Actually, I think this needs to be 360. And then this is just negative here. Oh my goodness. It's a miracle. And this is just going to be this minus this. Okay, that looks good. I think. Let's drag this over this way. Okay. Now my question, why is this still different every time? This should never be different. This is the same every single time. Ah, I see. I see. This is counting the number of payments left for some reason. It's counting the number of payments left. Count how many values are left. Okay, so we want to say there's 360 left here. So it's always going to be 360 minus the life minus the day before. Okay. Oh, what the heck? Still not working. Oh. So here, 360. Here, if I just change this to 359, do we get the same number? Yep. And then this is 358. Yep, same number. Interest is just doing interest times the rate divided by 12. Okay, so what in the world am I missing here? It's driving me insane. Interest is right. Principal is 10. The payment should be 21,253. Rate, payment. I mean, I don't understand. So 360. Oh, what if it's just present value? So how is this different? The exact same formula that's going on in this one. P12, interest rate 2.5. Oh no. Oh, I know. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. All right, so this is fine. The fricking interest rate. I was doing, oh, divided by 12. Fricking right there. It was dividing it by 10. Okay, 21,254. Yep, that's that. It should be that every single month. Yep, it is. Now the principal's right. 1068, 1089. Yep. Okay, drag this over, see if this works, I hope. Yep. So the exit month is fully paid off. Or um, if it hit the term, let's say there's no exit, but the term is 10 years. Now, oh yeah, we got an error here, which is good actually. So what it's saying here is we didn't pay off the interest, which is what I knew. So if the term, if C25, which one is this scenario? If FQ26 equals the term, then 27 plus the interest rate. There we go. Drag this over. Now we still got a number error, which we'll figure out in a second. But you can see on a 10-year term, the payments are much higher because it's 10-year term instead of 30. But then, if it's paid off at this point, when you go to exit, you don't have any principal to pay off on that loan. All right, so we got an error here. I guess just wrap this with an if error. If error, then 0. Basically, we're saying it's over. Now we got to go apply this to the initial loan. Make sure this works for everything. So let's put no refi, so it all should be 0 in that case. Okay, circular reference error. Great. Oh, good. It's in the top one. That's fine, because that one needs to be fixed. So this is all zeros in the second one. That makes sense. Let's go back and put a yes here, and then let's make this term longer again, back to 30. Make sure it just runs into perpetuity. Yep, and that looks perfect. Now let's say we have an exit at some point. Perfect. And this is number, so we got principal, interest, total debt service. Okay. Let's see what other thing we could do. What if the exit month is sooner than, let's say it's in July 2026. Make sure this works still. So if this is July, I think it should still work just fine. Just goes, yep, a couple months and then it goes. That makes sense. Now, what if it's before the refi? Let's see if that messes it up. Yeah, so technically this should be, we should be exiting, the entire project should be done by Feb 2026 here. But it's gone on and said, well, the refi, well, I guess in that case, if the exit happens before the loan term is up over here, then this should be done. Okay, so now it's just a matter of fixing, I think, the first loan. And then we'll see, I think also, we'll just put a second thing in here saying if this date is greater than the exit, then it has to be 0. No matter what. Like, you can't have a loan after the exit, so let's just, yeah, that fixed that. Okay, so just don't even start it if it's after the exit. All right, now let's fix the first loan, which we know. Oh, let's just frickin'. Um, oh man. So let's try and take this, and instead of doing a PMT, we'll do a PMT. which is B7. Let's see the rate. B7, yep, divided by 12, always 12 months. Payment number is always going to be we can just do the life minus 1, honestly. It'll just be this. Or, no, what am I saying? It'll be the total term which is this 120, and then minus 1, minus the life of the loan, but you want to do minus this plus 1, which gets you the same effect as what we did over there. And then present value is just negative balance. And then the principal is simply going to be total debt service minus the interest. However, we got some reference errors, which I expected. If this equals 0, then 0. What happened? Rate, term. What did I do? Negative. Actually, yeah, that's right. That's right. So what's sliding here? H6 should not be sliding. Or 7. Wait, what's moving? C6 is moving somewhere, so C5. C6, here. C6. All right. So 30-year term. Now, what's odd is why is my principal payment or total debt service more than or less than the interest? FG18 is less than, which is not. So it should be doing that times the rate divided by 12, which it is. That's the right interest. All right, well, let's get back into our schedule here. So, oh no, don't freeze. Do not freeze, please. No. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't know when I last saved. Oh, don't do this now. Completely locked out of Excel. Come on. Literally can't click on anything. Oh, there we go. Thank goodness. Okay, so for some reason, got stuck. Let me pull that back up. All right, let's put 2 million in for this 30-year at what I put 3%. And so interest 5,000, payment should be 8,432. Okay, so we know we're wrong on our formula. So this needs to be PMT B7 12 payment number. This is the weird one. So this has actually got to be total of this minus this plus 1. Present value is just this. Okay, that's not right. 33,000 is way too high. And it's not even the same every time. So this is completely wrong. So if it's refi, then if G17 is equal to C5, wait, that's a, we can figure that out. That's exit or a refi. If G17 is less than 1, then 0. Otherwise, payment the rate number of payments would be 120 minus 1 plus 1, which is just 120. Present value is that. So I think that's right. Let's see what it's, do we do this one right? C6. So this is if control equals no. Do the same thing, same payment thing, but if it's the term paid off, otherwise do this. And so what do we mess up here? C6 minus 17 negative G. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So what am I missing here? Oh, it's a 10-year term, not 30. So drag this up. Payment should be 19,000. Which is doing, so payment, the rate divided by 12. Payments left. $19,312. And what do we have? 33,000. Well, let's see which one it's doing. So if we take out all this over here. Oh, undo. So this is the right one, 19,312. So, but it's doing yes, right? Yeah, so it's doing the first one. So the first one we somehow messed up. Let's see where that messed up. So payment, this should literally be identical. So B7 divided by 12, B7 divided by 12, C6 minus G17 plus 1, C6 minus G17 plus 1, negative G19. Oh, whoops, I have two negative G19s. That's where it was messed up. Okay, so that's good. Now we want to say if it is the refi, then you do G19 plus the interest here, and then otherwise, if this equals the exit month, then do uh, this plus this. And then if I use yes, plus that. All right, let's test all that out and see if we got it. Okay, so a couple errors. So right now, Feb 26. Oh, it's exiting here, paying off the balance plus the interest. This loan doesn't even start. Let's say the exit's a little bit further down. Now it just happened at the refi that gets paid off. Refi happens, and then the refi gets paid off at that exit. That looks good. Now let's save this even further down. Oh, so this is good. Why is there a number error here? June 32. What's June 32? Oh, we're past. So, if error, I guess we could wrap it in. If error, then 0. Whoops. Don't need that anymore. Okay. So, let's try and test out any more nuance that could be going on here that could cause an error. So we know all the refi stuff works. let's say there's no exit and no refi. So this just goes on and on. And what I'm going to have to use for the actual cash flow is 2021 because this is not picking up the interest only period. So we'll just have to aggregate these two, which is fine. It's the same number. Okay. That's why I thought there's an error here a little bit. So for some reason, after the term is up, we're getting an error here. So our principal needs to be a little bit higher. We didn't do the interest. So on one of these, whichever one is the term, matching the term. So if D15 equals, so it's not that one. Yeah. So if, here it is, if DV17 equals C6, all right, so we forgot interest on that one. So there we go. So that should be good. Now I'm just trying to test because I put some of the ifs before, like uh if it exit month equals that. So what if, let's see, is there any way that could mess up? I don't think. You're just paying it off. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's completely fine. Okay, so now you see how hard it is to do debt refi and do it in a dynamic way, but it's done. So now, the fun part, we go, just double check a couple things. What if this is yes? Refi after, let's change it to 3 years. So we got the initial loan, goes out, refi month 36. Okay, so that's paid off. And then you start this one and this one goes to the end or to the exit. Let's say if there's an exit here, picks up the exit, the correct value. Okay, I think we're locked up here. This is good. Perfect. So delete this. So I think we can say MHP total debt total interest MHP1 total debt or total principal MHP1 total debt service, and then we'll just add them together. So interest principal, and then sum it up, and then this interest. Perfect. That's what we want, and then it just keeps going. picks up the big one there. But in the same month, you'll have the value of the refi coming in. So this is what's going out. Let's see, how are we going to capture the cash in? It'd be this number. So refi cash in would be, I guess you would just do this if, how do we do this best? So if, I guess this is greater than 0 and this equals 0, because there's no other situation when that would happen, then pull this, because this is saying, okay, you got $5.2 million. And then with that, you're going to use it to pay off the initial loan. So when you see this debt service here 1.5, in reality, yes, you're paying 1.5, but you're getting 5.2 million back. So the net effect will be captured, and then otherwise, oh, son of a 0. Because we want to know what this cash amount is, because when we go to do the cash flow for the month, we want to say, okay, you've paid out 1.5, but you got 5.2 in, and then you're paying off, then this loan starts. And I mean, I guess refi cash in, I guess we could put the exit cash flow here too. So the refi is the big initial cash influx. And then there's nothing else until the exit. So exit cash. And this is just going to be real easy if this equals this, then I just want to know what this is for Mobile Park 1, which is the exit value, or the exit valuation based on the exit cap. Otherwise, 0. Bring this all the way over. Okay, what did we mess up here? I didn't lock the control one, so lock that. If that equals 15 monthly GJ 147, GJ 47. Do I have GJ 47? No. Why does this stop? Oh, I never drug it all the way out. So this is 13. So we got to drag it down to the end now. There we go. So wait, what? This is only going to here. It's 15 years. 12. Okay, so what happened here? 180, that's right, 15 times 12, 180. So GB should be the max we're going out to. So what in the world happened here? We should be going to the end of 2036. So this is not even relevant. How is this 37? What's going on here? 37, is that 22? How many months is this? 192. So that's 16 years. Okay, I guess we're going one more year, so let's go 16th year. Doesn't really matter. So we'll go out another 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I think we can go out. There's no real reference to, just, yeah, that's fine. So 16 years, we'll go out here. So what's that end? December 2037. Okay, perfect. And there's our exit value, exit cash, which will be put against the total debt service here. Okay, so, and this is complex for one. Now let's do 39 more. So, shoot, I don't even, this is going to be way down. This is going to be way down here. We'll just go, I don't want to forget about it. So all of this, I guess, all right, so now that we have this called out, we can do um, initial loan, principal, loan, interest. I'm trying to think, do we want to call it out separately or just, we could just do total principal, total interest. I think we just do total and you'll know. So we do total principal, interest. And we're just including the repayment in the debt service. So then we got and we'll put, so this cash flow required for construction, this is going to show I don't even know why we don't really need to have a year zero here. These can be rate in. Oh, did I do it because I want it 1 month offset, I think. Why? I don't think that's actually necessary. Cash required. I think that can be right in month one. Whatever this start month is, this will go into. So let's just drag this over. We don't need any of this. Okay, so we've got principal, interest, and debt service there. You've got the uses of that down here. So principal is this, interest is that, sum. Now, what other cash flow items do we have for this? We've got, um, it might be better to group these all together, like total principal for 1 through 40, total interest. I guess it doesn't matter. It's going to be a lot either way. Total debt service, refi, disbursement is going to be that, and then exit disbursement, if applicable, is going to be that. So you drag all this over, and I guess you can put here initial loan amount, so you can see it is just, I guess, how do we want to do this? I guess it's just the max of this. Ah, shoot. So if this equals, oh, shoot, what's the best way to do this? Um, okay, so if the life equals 1, the first one, then max of this. Otherwise 0. So you get $2,000 loan, you start paying interest, 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 and you got principal and interest here. Let's go along. It's the end. Then we've got an exit here, paying off that initial loan, or the refi, getting that, and then what happened at the refi, let's see. so refi. So on the cash flow, we just go initial loan amount minus principal, well, minus total debt service plus refi disbursement plus exit to get the cash flow. And then this 2 million you can see here is paying for this debt. So that's that $2 million of debt initial, and that's what's triggering all that logic we just did. We've got equity here required and total cash. So this is the source or the use, construction, renovation, or acquisition. And this is the source of that. And then you can see all the logic of the debt source happening right here. Now, just want to make sure. So what if we change this one to acquisition? What do we do? Just so let's assume construction other an 80-20 split. That's why it's 2,500,000. But what if we also have an annual NOI of that? Now you do, so if that equals yes and H is 0, then you just do that, but it's not, it's H. Okay, so this takes H times that. Now, okay, we might have caught a hole here, so this is good. Um, so this is saying if there's both an acquisition and then you're also going to do construction, we're saying initial loan term 80%. So 80% of the acquisition plus 80% of the construction, right? So should be doing both. So I missed that one. So if K is yes and H4 is 0, then do J, which is fine. If K is no, then there's just no debt. That makes sense. Otherwise, take the acquisition times D10 LTV, which is both of that. So our issue is with the yes. So if this is yes, and okay, so we got to do a second one. Then that's, so the second one would be if and K4 equals yes and H4 is greater than 0, then then the total debt is going to be acquisition times 80% plus construction. Well, if that actually, I guess it doesn't matter. We could just take the total acquisition cost in this case times 80%. If it's yes, if K is yes and H is greater. Then just do, no, we gotta separate it out. We gotta separate it out because possibly the LTV could be different than the percentage for construction. So we want acquisition times this plus construction times percent for construction. There we go. That makes more sense. And since they're both 80%, this is 80-20 split, and they're each 6 million total. So, all right, let's lock these up. So, and that this has to be locked, and that. Okay, good catch there. 4665, good catch there too. Affected that one because before it was essentially doing if you wanted to do debt and you had both renovations, construction, and an acquisition of an existing place, it was doing only, it was not breaking these in between into two different things. So now, let's go back, let's set this to no, right? So it's just a whole, all of this. If it's yes, that's fine. If this is 0, no problem. It just does 4615, 4615. There we go. And then if this is some number and this is 0, still do the 80-20. There you can really see 800,200. And then if this was, let's say 70 instead of 80, perfect, 7. All right. If it was 50-50, okay. All right, I think we're good there. Man, so much logic happening here. And I can actually, to make this a shorter formula, this doesn't have to say build out assumptions. And neither does this. Shoot. It's hard to see the explanation versus the I. Okay, perfect. Um, that looks good. Just making sure this is all good still. Yep. Okay. Perfect. So that's good. Cash required. So this is our uses. This is our sources. And that will be happening over time. And that should always equal this. So total cash you need is here. Financing some, you get some equity. And then the debt is going to flow up through all of this logic. And the refinance, if applicable, obviously we can just always hit no if we don't want to refi. And in that case, you can see there's then no refi happening. And you still have the exit. Okay, now this is, okay, so, oh, well, essentially this would be a case where if the loan is paid off, fine. It's paid off by, month 125, and then that's fine. And the exit just happens whenever it happens. And yeah, this just, the loan's just already paid off, so we don't need to worry about that. All right, well, one down. Let's see how hard this is to duplicate one time, and then I'm probably going to do this off stream for the rest of them because you can kind of see how everything's working. It's now just a matter of duplicating all this and aggregating it because I want to get this done this week. So let's see if we paste this in. This will be equals build out assumptions 2. Praying that all this is fine. Let's see if we can just literally drag this over. That doesn't look like it. So where's our references? This. Oh, okay, so here's the first one we need to lock up. So this, pretty sure needs to be the month, day. So this has to be locked. Is that it, actually? Okay, so that looks good. What else? Oh, this is a big one. But it looks like the references are good. All right. What is going on here? Index 63. If 4. Oh, right, because the first 3 years are, okay, so 57. That's fine because we haven't done the whole thing yet. Those references look good. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, I think we can drag this over, and there's literally that simple to do number 2. And that's because we made all the references dynamic. So we'll check this, make sure. So it's starting in September 2022, which is right. Start month is May, but operations don't begin till September. So in May, do you see down here the costs come in for that one? Operations start over here. We have this is nice. So this is all dynamic, tells you the month of the year of its specific life. So max units is 200. That makes sense. 200. Starting occupancy 70%. 70%. That looks good. Active units. Just multiplying that together. That makes sense. Average monthly lot rent. Make sure this is going up right. So we started with 550. We went up by 3%. Let's check if we change that. to, oh, hold on a second. So 3%, let's see if we change it to 4. Perfect, that changed. And then let's stabilize this 2. Let's change it to 1 just to make sure. So this is 4. Now if we go over to year 5, so it's saying you've got year 1, 2, and then there's a growth from 1 to 2, there's a growth from 2 to 3, and there's a growth from 3 to 4. After 3 cycles of growth, see first 3 years. So you don't need to do anything until year 5 when you're stabilized. So actually this is let's just make this more clear. So lot rent growth in year 2 to 4. Because year 1 is just whatever, you're putting in whatever that initial amount is, starting amount for year 1. And then year 2, there's a growth, 3, 4, and then year 5, then it grows at a smaller rate, which here is 1%. Makes sense. That's what we've got. That's what it's doing. All the way through, and then it's just a matter of the potential rent, vacancy, and total. And then we can just we're taking the total rent by saying the average lot rent times the active units, potential rents, the max unit count times average lot rent. So the difference between this average and max is your occupancy loss or vacancy loss. Change that up here, vacancy loss. Overall, I'm pretty excited. So this is going to be really simple to copy and paste that down and just adjust like one reference, and we're good to go. And then what we'll have is, so once this is all rolled up, let's see, we want to do, what do we go down to? Gross monthly, so lock this. So here, if we lock it all up, we got mobile home park 1, revenue, Opex, net operating income, then your refi and debt stuff if applicable. Now, none of this, if you would hit no here, if we go no debt and it's all equity, then you can see the amortization's all 0. There is no, it's just literally what cash do you need, which is going to show up, once we have this section, it'll show up here, all equity, and then what cash is going to be available to distribute, which will come from the net operating income of all the parks, and then potentially the exit value will still be in there. All right, for expenses, let me unhide all this. Part 1, part 2. Let's make this black and white here. So here's 1, and then this will be this and expenses. I just want to make it really easy to follow. So now you got mobile home park 2, expenses, and mobile home park. This part will be black and white. Okay, now what's our references here? So this obviously is not locked. It needs to be locked up here. Wait a second. How is that not locked? It is locked. That's weird. This has to come down. Just bring it down to here. Uh, so here, but then we need to skip the management fee because that works a little bit different. And then for management fee, let's make sure we did all this right. Bring this down. So not too bad. I mean, it'll take like a few minutes, it looks like, for each. Now I'm confused. Okay, so this is not locked either. But that is locked. It's got the little thing on it, so I don't know why that wasn't staying there. Same with this one. Times, and then you're gonna go times the revenue. Oh, no, that's not supposed to be locked for this last one. Times gross revenue. Right, because this one is doing, yeah. Now we've got that. I think I missed another reference up here. So match that. I think that's good actually. All right, let's drag this over. Oh, what are we missing here? If E10, hold on. So this needs to reference if not E4, but if this is greater than 0. Because it shouldn't be starting expenses until the start month of the park. So 57. There we go. And then let's make sure it's the right numbers, first of all, and that it's growing at the right rate. So there's 2. And let's take away, like, there's no reason for this to have a space. Try and tighten this up. Um, okay. So 12, let's change some of these numbers, make sure this is working. Let's say this is 100,000, 25, I'll say 70. Do different growth too, make sure. Okay, so this should be this times 12, 175, 15, 175, 15, 10, 10, and then this should just be revenue times 4%, 380. Yep. Okay, so that all seems correct. Let's go to year 2. Make sure they're growing. Oh, nope. Okay, so this is the next issue we've got. We need to reference the right growth period. So this is doing E10. Obviously not. We need this to be the second park's number, which is here. So drag all this down again. That's why we got to do this. Okay, now where's year 2 at? And that should have changed. Is that still 8333? 8. Okay, yeah, it was referencing the other one, that's why. Okay, so 8333. And for its life in the second year, it'll go up 8583. Make sure this is the right rate. It's divided by, yep, 3%. Or change it to 1%. 1%. Okay, good. So that looks all great. Fine and dandy. Exit value is just going to be this times 12 divided by, and this should be locked. What are we doing? Exit cap. Or no. That's the exit cap. Oh, hold on a second. Do we have another issue here? So for this valuation for refi, we use D27. So for this one, okay, so we did use the refi one. We use this for the exit or the value at refi. Okay. And then I'm assuming then for the exit valuation, I used, yeah. Oh, no. No. We used, okay, so this is an issue. The exit cap potentially is different than the refi cap. But we need to know the refi cap here, valuation for refi, and that can be potentially different than the refi versus the exit of the actual thing. So no problem. What we have to do here. So that can stay exit at valuation for refi, value for refi, but the exit disbursement could be different. So here On this first one, we have initial loan, refi, exit cash. This should be using the gross or the net operating income for 1 times 12 divided by the exit cap here. Okay, there we go. So now exit cap, refi cap is different and it works dynamically. Um, so for this first one, we now do, right, let's put this back in. I just want to see everything. So oops, let's put yes here for these. Okay, so there's that. Refi happens, okay. That's a different value. That's right. So this is the refi valuation. And we're saying that we're going to get 50 or 80% of that on the refi. 5273. And then we're saying when it sells, we simply pay off the rest of that loan. And then we got 7 million, which is based on, should be this times 12. 500,000 per year net operating income divided by this 7714. Perfect. Okay, good. So that works. Now let's make sure mobile home park 2 is correct. It's important to get these things right before you get too far down. All right, so um, value for refi. So this is going to be T27. Yep, T27. And then all of this has to be redone. We could drag this over. Okay, so this isn't too bad. Once I have all these references locked and correct, it'll be pretty easy to add the rest, I think. Just divided by... So this valuation at refi is only relevant for the refi, actual refi month. Amortization, did I even start? No, I haven't even started at mobile home park 2. So in this, I'll just pull this down. And then this will be 2. And then I'll adjust all those references, drag everything over. Make sure the monthly for part 2 is pulling those numbers correctly. And then just keep going. Expenses, Opex, exit. Perfect. All right. Well, I feel pretty good about that. We got 3 hours in here, and I got um, firmed up the initial loan. We firmed up the refi today, made everything work correctly. Started on, got down to net operating income. Make this a reference for Mobile Home Park 1. We started on Mobile Home Park 2, which we've got all the way done for expenses, net operating income. Now we got to do the debt for that, and then it's just a matter of replicating down the line. Let's hide or group this. You can probably group. I'll keep that open. You need to see all those actually. So Park 1, Park 2, and then we'll go down the line to Park 39 or Park 40, however many I did. And then we'll be done. And then when a user uses this, it's going to be really nice because you can just enter your park information here. It's got all the different timing assumptions, which will spread it across the same timeline, which is important. It's got debt refi logic for every single different one individually. We'll aggregate all that in total and get a total cash distribution contribution by month. This can also just be used for a single use if you just want to do one park and look at it over any amount of time. That's fine too. Um, for Excel, you could just make a copy, make it a different file name, and you could have, you know, your one you use for single park analysis, and then you could do the aggregate. Um, I'm gonna try to finish this week because it's all now. It's just about duplicating this over and over and then aggregating. If you want to check out more stuff, I've got models at smarthelping.com. Go over there. Um, I've got over 100 different models for different things. The one I'm working on right now for the mobile home park, which I actually need to add to this real estate bundle. I don't know where I put it. Probably under industry specific. Yeah, I'll have to move that. This should be included in real estate as well. Um, so I'll have it here when it's done, the upgraded version. And I think I'm gonna price this at $175 one-time fee. Um, it's just got a lot to it, and I think that's a fair price. So, all right, I'll see you next Tuesday at 9. Hopefully, I finish this by then. I plan on it. So, I'll see you on the next one.